Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So the next video that I'm going to do is a tutorial on how I do my hair from start to finish. I just showered. My go-tos in the shower right now for shampoo and conditioner are this Oribe shampoo for beautiful color. I really love it. It's about $40. I know it's a little bit pricey, but I think it's worth it. I really like it. It's been lasting me, I want to say a little over 4-5 months. And I really try not to use a lot of shampoo because it is pretty bad for your hair. It just strips the natural oils, and the less you shampoo your hair, the better. And then the next thing that I love is this Honest Company conditioner. I know it's super random, but I have willingly switched out my Kerastase conditioner for this Honest Company. It's just super lightweight, there's no scent, and your hair is just so soft. I really don't get it. I love you. Next, what you're going to need: a blow dryer. I love this Moroccanoil one, it's the strongest one I own. A flat iron, also Moroccanoil, I really love it. And then the holy grail, my T3 Micro Curling Iron. I think this is about 1-inch barrel. This one just happens to be my favorite because I love the, undone bend that it creates. It's just much easier to achieve it with one like this. 3 clips. You could section your hair off wherever you want, but if you want to do it how I do it, that's the way that it works best for me, and I'll show you how I section it to make it easier. And you're gonna need a round brush. This is my favorite round brush. I don't even know where I got it. I think it's my 3rd one, and it's gonna break on me any day. It's just like so over me. I have used this to death. I was just about to call it a her. Is that weird? So first we're going to start by sectioning off our hair. This is how much I do on the top. The next section is about this much. And honestly, there's really no right or wrong. It just makes my life easier. I've tried it every single way. I've been doing my hair since I was probably 12 because my mom wouldn't let me do shit up until then. This is how I wore my hair. Nobody would talk to me. Okay, so then I section off one side. So I'm gonna start with this side. And then I just, you know what? You kind of really need 4 clips because I put my hair in my mouth like this, just to hold it away from the other section. I don't know if that's acceptable. It just works best for me. So if you guys are cool with doing that, then do it. If not, just grab a clip and clip it in front of your ear to just separate it. Maybe I should get a clip because I do have to talk to you guys. So you're gonna take your round brush, comb through the hair so you know that there's no knots, is the word. You're going to wrap it around like this, as tight as you can, because you really want to get those roots. If you don't get the root of your hair, it just tends to look puffy and it's kind of hard to go back in and do it. So just try to get it as tight as possible. And you're just gonna hold it there and then pull. And you're just gonna keep wrapping it around as you go down. And then sometimes you have to adjust it. Typically I'm doing this standing up, so I just put it in between my legs and I just keep it on. And then what you want is just a pretty bend. You don't want it to be too flat because you do want that texture. So it's okay if it's not perfect, and it's okay if it's bent under a little bit. You can always go back in. Okay, so that's what it's gonna look like. So I taught myself how to blow dry my hair so I don't need to use a flat iron. I used to just air dry my hair, and I was forced to go back in with a flat iron because it would be so puffy. So the main goal here is to just get it as sleek as you possibly can. So the same thing in the front, you're going to brush through to make sure there's no knots, and then you're going to wrap it around and pull it as close to the root as possible. Same thing on this side. And you're always pulling it away from the face, wrapping it around towards the back. Okay, so after you're done with that section, you want to take out the clip of the next one, and the same thing. We're just going to separate it into 2 halves. Tie this one away. I don't know why I always start on the left side, but I do. It's very weird. I'm not a lefty. Okay, I'm going to separate it again. And I'm going to put this one in a clip. I'm gonna section this one off again too. I know a lot of you are probably wondering, why am I straightening my hair? I'm gonna go and curl it. But my hair is very frizzy. It's not the kind of hair that I can just let air dry and then go back in with a curling iron. I have to do it, and I have to make it straight, and I have to use a blow dryer first to really get that lived in texture feel that I want. I wish you can feel how soft it is. It's all that conditioner. It's really crazy. I've spent so much money on expensive conditioners and thinking that I needed to always use Kerastase and, you know, stuff like that, but this conditioner is a game changer. And it's not the kind of conditioner that you use one time and that one time is so soft. It's been continuously soft. I've been using it for like over a month now, and it's just been incredible. So the last part, this part, is the most important. So what I do is I section it off like that. I leave a little bit more up here in the front because when you pull it forward, which I do with this front piece, I want it to look a little bit thicker. So I like to put more of the hair in that section. Okay, we're gonna clip that. Take this back section Again, brush it through so there's no knots. And we are going to wrap it around. And I wrap it the opposite way. I wrap it going forward. So you can totally do it this way. Sometimes I go back and forth just to kind of get that height and that texture, because that's what that does. But I typically just go to the front. So I'm gonna wrap it around and start at the root. Okay, so after I finish that section, I put it all back again. My arm hurts. This arm is so much stronger than this arm. Can you tell? Okay, so next you're gonna take out the front piece and we're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna take it all, brush it out so there's no knots again, and then wrap it around your brush, and we're gonna start at the root. And we're gonna pull forward. Oh, my arm. And then just part it however you want. I typically part it in the middle. Sometimes I part on the side. Right now I'm just gonna do the middle. And just make sure everything on the top is just, you know, flat in the way that you want it. Obviously not too flat, because that's never cute. You know, when you see a girl with really flat hair, you just wanna do this to her. Oh. So now we are done with our blow dryer. The next thing I'm going to do is plug in my flat iron and plug in my curling iron. And I'm gonna show you how I do it. I'm not gonna show you how I do it. You guys should know how to plug in irons, but I'm gonna show you how I curl my hair. So now that we finished blow drying our hair, you might not even need to go back in with your flat iron. Just have it on just in case there's a piece that I missed, or you know, it just looks a little too frizzy or puffy. I'm using the T3 curling iron. It's about an inch wide, and I have a flat iron plugged in just in case I missed some pieces, or like if I curled it if I made a piece too curly after I used the curling iron and I want to go over it. It's just good to have on deck just in case. Oh God, they need to make wireless. That's a really good idea. I probably should not post that. Wireless flat irons. Is that a thing? So I first start off by sectioning it, similar to how we just blew our hair. I do bigger pieces with my curling iron because I want to create more of a bend rather than a curl. And if I make the pieces too small, it's gonna make it too curly, and we don't want to look like we're going to a bat mitzvah. So after we pin our hair, and you're gonna start at the root again, and kind of just hold it there. You're not gonna keep spinning it. You're just gonna hold it at that one bend, and then I'm gonna spin it a little bit, and then I pull it down. So there's really not much time that I'm holding it, because again, I don't want to create a curl. We're just making a bend. And then I'll take another tiny piece from that section and just go closer to the top, because this piece is more so on the outside of my head, so you're gonna see it more. And I want this piece to really, you know, I want this piece to look curlier. Okay, so that's how it'll come out. If you want to curl, you can do that with this iron too, but today we're just gonna go for my signature hairstyle, which is the bend. We're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna take it at the root and just spin it one time, and then you're gonna pull it down. And I don't wait till it cools down to brush it out, because if I do, then it's just gonna be too curly. And they do fall, so I tend to do my hair at night, and then I like to sleep on it because I like how it looks when I wake up. It just has more of that like slept in, lived in look. I do go over some pieces in the morning just to kind of polish them a little bit, but other than that, I typically like how it looks when I sleep on it. Okay, so you're gonna leave out the front piece. That piece we're gonna do separately, and that's the most important piece. But everything else, it's the same motion, and we're gonna do that around the entire head. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Let's hold off on the front pieces because those are the most important. Okay, so now that we curled every other piece but the front, I'm gonna show you guys the most important part. So it's the same motion, I just hold it a little bit longer because I want these front pieces to be a little bit wavier to frame my face. So you're gonna turn it back, but this time you're gonna curl it more. You're not just gonna hold it in place. You're gonna do a double curl, just like this one. And you're gonna pull it down, just like that. These I let sit because again, I want them to be a little bit curlier, so we won't brush them out immediately. And then this one, again, away from your face and 2 curls, just like that. And then you're gonna pull it down. Imagine if I just left them like that. And then you're just gonna pull it through with your fingers. And again, if it's a little too curly for you, that's why we have our flat iron. You could always go over it and flatten it out, or you could just sleep on it and see how you feel in the morning, because most of the time it falls. But again, everybody's hair is different, so it's kind of hard for me to say what's gonna happen with yours. But for mine, it typically falls and it just leaves me with a pretty undone look with a perfect bend. And then I'll go in to some pieces in the back. If I feel that they're too straight on the top and I want to make them look a little bit messier, I will go back in and just curl that top part and just do that one bend. I'm not going to keep going because I just want it to be at the root. And then pull it down. Same thing on this side. I'm going to go back and just do that one bend and just hold it there. So like this piece right here, I noticed that it's straight, sticking out. So I'm gonna go back into that one and just curl it a little bit more. I'm gonna do a double curl on this one. The whole point of this hairstyle is that there's really no rhyme or reason. I mean, every piece can feel a little bit differently. It should look a little bit differently because when you think about natural waves, they're not all uniform. So unless you're going for that look, you want to be careful of that. So even if there's some pieces on the bottom that are a little bit straight, or if you left your hair that's naturally curly and you just let it air dry and those pieces are too curly, it's okay, because if anything, that makes it look prettier. A lot of the time I will just let my hair air dry and I'll just go back in with a round brush and my blow dryer and just do my roots just so they don't look really frizzy, and then I will curl the parts that I want to be curled, and it looks so good. It's also better for your hair. So if you don't have to do your whole head and you don't have to put all this heat on it, don't do it. It's not necessary, you know, but it's, again, it's a case by case thing and you just got to try it out. So the last part of this process is texture spray. You cannot do this look without texture spray. It's a must-have. It doesn't matter which one. My favorites are the Oribe, which is this one, just the dry texturizing spray, the regular one, or Bumble and Bumble dry spun. They're both amazing. This one's a little bit pricier. The dry spun's a little bit smaller, and I think about $15 cheaper, but they're both incredible. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the root of your hair and you're gonna spray as you're letting go. This way you can really get every strand, and it really adds texture into it. And it just kind of breaks up the wave and it makes it a little bit messier. I mean, I go through these bottles. I don't even think I want to go down that road. We don't need to discuss that. It's not your business. Just totally, I can't live without it. It just totally transforms. I just can't live without it. It's a must-have for me, and I think with any hairstyle, it just totally transforms it. If you want to just do your hair straight and wear it sleek and you just put some texture spray in it, it just gives you that perfect messiness that just always looks good. Even in a ponytail, I love it, anything. It's just so worth it to me. I honestly really don't use a heat protectant. Someone once told me that they are complete bullshit. I just don't have one. I mean, I'm not against it, but it's not really part of my routine. But if you have one, it's fine to use it. They also tend to make my hair a little bit oily, so I think if you use less, the better. But this is my finished look. This is what I do every single day. Sometimes I'll go a little bit straighter, sometimes I'll go a little bit curlier. It's very easy to achieve. It takes me about 20 to 25 minutes. It just takes a few times. You just have to practice and see what works for you. My recommendation would be the T3 Micro Curling Iron. It's a 3-in-1, so it comes with 3 barrels that you can detach. And to have a flat iron and just to have a really great blow dryer and a really great round brush. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I will link all the products below, and I hope you guys love this, and I'll see you soon. That was a double kiss. I don't know why I did that. I'm gonna go.